This is how you can implement linked roles into your application on Discord. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, before we actually go ahead and get into it, I just want to go ahead and say what this actually is. So basically what you can do is you can have a linked role with your application that has to have some specific things or requirements that you as the user has to meet before you can get the role, or you could just have a connection for the purpose of having a connection role. Basically how this works is we have to do a bunch of code to configure this into Discord, and then if the app is within the server when you are creating a role, you can actually go ahead and select that role and configure a bunch of settings to actually go ahead and set this up. This could be used for a number of different things if you're trying to verify something that you built with an application within a Discord server, or if you just want to have a linked role within your support server for a user that has Automate connected to their profile. But in this video, we're just going to be walking through how you can initially set this up, and then I'll go ahead and describe how you can implement pretty much anything you would like into this using the Discord developer portal documentation, as well as the code that we're going to go ahead and use in this video. Before I show you how to do all of this, I'd like to say that if you're interested in getting the source code from any video on my channel, you can get a God tier on Discord or a super God tier on YouTube. You can also get any of these 3 Discord bot packages. They are fully coded Discord bots with a specific topic. All of this will be in the description below if you're interested, and with that, let's go ahead and get into the code. So I've gone ahead and linked 3 links in the description below. You're going to want to go ahead and click on the first one. It's going to go ahead and bring you to the Discord developer portal configuring app metadata for linked roles. So we're basically going to go step by step and just do everything the documentation says to do. So the first thing obviously is you're going to go ahead and create an app. This is what your app is going to be. It's going to have some information. Just go ahead and create an app. It's pretty simple if you don't have one already. That will be in the description below. You can go to the developer portal and click on create app. Alright, so after we do that, you can actually go ahead and invite the bot to your server. Basically, this is giving you the steps to get a URL that you can actually invite the application to your server with. So after your app is installed, which means you have an app that is created and that it's within your Discord server. So that's pretty much where we're at. We have a created application that is within a Discord server. As you can see, it's within the server. It doesn't have to turn on. It just has to be within the server. Then we can actually go ahead and move on to the running your app portion of this code here. So you can either go to the GitHub repository, or we can go ahead and use Glitch. And we're actually going to go ahead and use Glitch for this because in my experience, this is actually really easy. All we have to do is just clone the project. So step number 1 is we're going to go ahead and click on this clone Glitch project right here. It's going to go ahead and take us over to Glitch, and it's going to go ahead and load the project. You might need to sign in with Google to just go ahead and create a Glitch account. But as you can see here, we will have our project that has all of the code in it, as well as a README, which is basically going to be our Discord documentation. So we can actually go ahead and close out of the README. We can pretty much go over to any code we want, but we're going to actually go ahead and start off in the .env, and I'll show you that in just a second. So as you can see, it's going to go ahead and give us our project. But the first thing that we're actually going to have to go in and do is we're going to go ahead and configure our app. What this is going to be doing is we have to get all of the data that we need to put within our .env, and we have to go ahead and create these specific variable names as well. Okay, so we can just go ahead and start step by step. The first thing that we're actually going to go ahead and get is our Discord token. So to do that, we're going to go into the code here, and we're going to go ahead and click on plain text because it's a little bit easier to write. We can just go ahead and delete the comments here, and the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is create Discord underscore token, and we can do equals. So we're going to go ahead and set this to our applications token. So to get that, we're going to go over to the application. We can go ahead and click on bot, and we're going to go ahead and reset our token, and we can go ahead and click on yes, do it. Once you do that, you're going to go ahead and get a token that you can actually go ahead and copy and paste, and you're going to go ahead and put that in here. I'm going to go ahead and say my token for now. I'm actually going to go ahead and update this data after because I don't want to have to blur anything out in the code. So then after we do that, we can go back into the documentation, and we're going to notice that next it needs the Discord client secret, which is going to be your client secret, as you can see here with this image. So to do that, we're going to go in here, and we can go ahead and get our Discord underscore client, and we can do underscore secret just like that to make sure it's all capital letters. Then we can go ahead and do an equal sign, and again I'm going to go ahead and do my secret because I don't want to have to blur anything out. But to get this client secret, you're going to go ahead and go to the Discord developer portal. We can go over to OAuth 2, and we're going to go over to general, and you can go ahead and see this client secret here, and we're just going to go ahead and click on reset secret. Again, it will give you a copy and paste button that you can go ahead and paste it right into this variable within your .env. So next, now that we have our client secret, we're also going to go ahead and get our Discord client ID. So this is going to be another variable in here. This time I can actually show you what it is. It's going to be our Discord client underscore ID equals, and we're going to go over to our application again. Same, you can go to our OAuth section and we can go over to general, and you can just go ahead and copy this client ID right here, and then we can go ahead and paste that in as our variable. All right, so we can go over to the developer portal. We're not quite done with our .env, but we're just going to go ahead and go step by step here. So we're going to go ahead and have to click on share because we're going to need to get this specific link for our app. So we can actually go ahead and go over to the project again. We can go ahead and click on share, and we're going to go ahead and click on this link right here, and we can go ahead and copy it. We're going to go back to the Discord developer portal, and we're going to go ahead and go to general information. We're going to find our linked roles verification URL, and we can go ahead and paste that in here. Now, it is important to note that in the developer portal here, as you can see, if we scroll down to exactly where it tells us to put it in, we're going to need to get /linked role at the end of that link. So we can actually go ahead and do /linked role just like that. So we're going to go ahead and make that simple change to our URL. So now that we have that within our general information, we need to use a Discord redirect URL. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and use the /discord OAuth callback, and we're going to go ahead and get that exact same URL we copied, and we can go over to the OAuth 2, and we can go to general. We're going to go ahead and add a redirect. So we're going to go ahead and paste that exact link here, and then as you can see, it uses the Discord OAuth 2 callback. So we can go ahead and copy that, and we're going to go ahead and put that in there as well. So we can go ahead and click on save. Now that we have our redirect and our linked role right here with their respective end to that link, then we can actually go ahead and move on with the developer portal documentation. The next thing it actually wants us to do is go to our .env again, and we're going to go ahead and create Discord, and we can do redirect, and we can do URL, and that is going to be equals, and that is going to be the exact same link we actually went ahead and pasted right here in our redirect. So it's going to be the link plus the Discord OAuth callback. So we can actually go ahead and paste that in there as well. So we're actually done with this chunk of the developer portal. We now have pretty much all of our .env as well as our developer portal set up, meaning we have our redirect and we have our linked role here. So now all we have to do is we have to run some commands within the terminal. So we're going to go ahead and run node crypto random UUID within the terminal to get our generated UUID, which we're actually going to go ahead and put into a variable within the .env. So to do that, we're going to go into glitch, and we're going to go and find our new terminal, and we can actually go ahead and run node, and we're going to go ahead and get this very specific command. So it's going to be crypto.randomuuid. Now when we do that, it's going to go ahead and say unexpected token. So this is what you're actually going to go ahead and do. You're going to go ahead and run node, and then you're going to go ahead and click enter, and then the command is going to be crypto.randomuuid, just like that, and then we can go ahead and send it. So now it's going to go ahead and give us our random UUID, which we can actually go ahead and copy, and within our .env, we can go ahead and create cookie, and we can do secret, and we can actually go ahead and paste this. Now keep in mind, to paste or copy from the console, we might actually have to go ahead and click on the right click. We can go ahead and click copy, and then we're going to go ahead and paste that within glitch. So we have our cookie secret. So now we can go back in here. So far we have a .env that looks pretty much like this, which we do. We have all of our variables now. So now we just have to register our metadata schema. So to do this, we're going to go ahead and run node src/register.js, and then we will pretty much be done with this entire system. So we're going to come down here, and we can go ahead and click exit or Control D, and we can actually go ahead and do node, and we can do src/register.js, and we can go ahead and click enter. So as you can see, I did get the 401 unauthorized because I do not have my token or my secret in here. I'm going to go ahead and put that in and run that command one more time, and then from there, I'm not going to show my .env anymore. So just make sure you have everything copied down just like this with your token and your secret and all of the corresponding data. Alright, so now when we actually go ahead and run that command, we're going to go ahead and get a chunk of data, which is actually going to be the metadata that the bot is actually going to go ahead and run. So we have a bunch of different data, but basically what this means is it's working. So let's go ahead and create a role and actually test this out. So we can go to our Discord, and we can go over to roles, and we can go ahead and create a role link test, and we can go ahead and click on saved, and we can just go ahead and drag this up here so we can actually go ahead and test this out. We're going to go over to links, and if we go ahead and click on add requirement, we're going to see the app that is my application. So we can actually go ahead and click on it, and as you can see, we have some information that we actually have to go ahead and select. So these are going to be the requirements that the user has to meet before they can actually obtain this role. So for example, we have cookies eaten, allergic to nuts, or baking sense. Now this is just some basic generic placeholder data that the glitch project went ahead and made for us. So let's just go ahead and leave these on for now. I believe it's all going to be working for us, but we can actually go ahead and test this out. Next, we can go over to the linked roles section and we can go ahead and click on the role test. I do have another role because I was testing this earlier, but if we go ahead and click on the one that we just created, and as you can see, it's going to go ahead and show red, meaning we did not meet this requirement. So let's go ahead and check that out. If we go to the register.js, we're going to notice that we have a body array that has a bunch of different objects that have types. This is where this comes in handy. This is going to be the developer portal documentation. This has all of the types that you can actually go ahead and customize if you would like. So this is going to be the name, description, and the type. That's pretty much what we went ahead and created. But if we actually go ahead and go to the server.js and we go ahead and come right here, we're going to see on line 113 that we have our metadata, which is going to be cookies eaten, allergic to nuts, which is true, and first cookie baked. So I want you to notice that these are all preset values by the application. So what we could actually go ahead and do is we could go ahead and use the Discord API to get some information about the user that then we could put in here using variables. So right now, every user is going to have this given data, but if we were to use the user's specific information, then we could go ahead and put a specific number for them. We might as well just go ahead and remove the first cookie baked because we're not actually going to need that, as it is kind of an interesting value that we don't really need. So to fix that, we can go to register and we can go ahead and remove this value as well. So it's going to be the baking sense, which is going to be the one that we also removed. And we can go ahead and completely take that out. And then after we do that, we can go ahead and run the command again. So we're going to do node and we can do src/register.js. And we can go ahead and click on enter. And as you can see, it's going to go ahead and give us two values within this array. It's going to be our cookies eaten and our allergic to nuts. So now if we go over to the Discord, we might actually need to reload, but actually nope. If we go ahead and click on it, then we're good to go. So we go ahead and click on finish. Now for me, it didn't actually open up a new browser. That's because I already have the bot connected to my account. So if you didn't have it connected to your account, then pretty much you would open up a new browser, you would authorize it, and then you would get the role, and I'll actually show you that in a second. But if we go over to my account on here, you're going to notice that we have our example linked role Discord bot, which we could customize that name, by the way, and we do have allergic to nuts and cookies eaten, which is going to be what we put in as well. Now, keep in mind, like I said, you could pretty much just go in here and change all of these values if you would like. It's pretty straightforward. That's how you would customize it. For example, if we were to go ahead and click on this, we could go ahead and change this to false. And then we could go ahead and run node src/register.js again. And then we could go ahead and go to links and we could go ahead and unlink it. We might actually have to go to authorized apps and we would go ahead and find my bot, which is going to be right around here. And then we would just go ahead and deauthorize it. And then we would be able to go back in here and we would be able to go ahead and get our new role. Now this time, as you can see, we won't be able to actually get the role because they're both red, but we can go ahead and reauthorize it. And when we authorize, we can go back to Discord. And as you can see, allergic to nuts is actually set to false. And if we go back over to the code, as you can see, we set it to false. So basically by doing that, nobody's going to get the role. But like I mentioned in the beginning, you can go ahead and use the specific user data to customize this further. So a pretty generic use case that I actually saw in this blog post would be like if the user has been on Discord for a certain amount of time, or if the user has a specific username, or maybe a specific user ID, or maybe they're in a specific server, or maybe they have a different connection. All of that you can actually go ahead and get using the Discord documentation and the Discord API, and then you could go ahead and plug this into your metadata and your register.js. But that's pretty much how it works. This is just the basic project. You can customize this as much as you would like, and it is going to continue to work even if you were to close out of this glitch project. It is pretty cool. Alright, so that's how you can use linked roles with your application. If you do need any help with this, go ahead and join the server in the description below and we'll be happy to help you out. And you might as well just join anyways because this is a pretty good coding community. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video.